Day 28 of building GhostBoss in public. So today felt like it should have been Thursday, but it was a Tuesday. I didn't get anything done on GhostBoss today, but I definitely worked. After my normal workday, I had a kickoff meeting with a new client. I'm redesigning the website for their accounting firm. Then I had work for a returning client whose website I built a few years ago. They're coming back for ongoing maintenance, so I had contracts to send, payments to set up, and some website updates to make. Then I got to take my kids to hockey practice, come home, had dinner, and still had more client work waiting for me. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, one of my boys lost a tooth today. I actually got to be there to help pull it out. That's one of those little things I really appreciate about working from home. I had a ton of work to do today, but I was still there for that moment. And that's kind of the point. I'm building GhostBoss around my life. I'm not putting my life on hold to build GhostBoss. By the time I finished everything tonight, there just wasn't any time left for GhostBoss. And I was thinking about that because it's a pretty real part of bootstrapping something. Sometimes the work keeping you away from your startup is also the work paying the bills and funding that startup. There's no big funding round paying me to sit around and build GhostBoss all day, which would be nice. I'm not going to lie. So when client work comes in, sometimes that's what needs my attention. That work pays the bills. It helps pay for the tools and services I'm using to build GhostBoss. And it gives me the ability to keep doing this. And sometimes the reason I'm not working on GhostBoss is because I'm being a dad. Both of those things matter. It's also exactly why I make such a big deal about ending every GhostBoss session at a clean stopping point. I don't always know what tomorrow is going to look like. So when I close the computer at night, I want to know exactly where we are, what we finished, what we tested, what's committed, and exactly what comes next. Yesterday, we finished slice 2 of the database migration. Everything was tested. We created a clean checkpoint and we documented where we're going next. So even though I didn't touch GhostBoss today, I didn't lose momentum. When I sit down again, I'm not going to spend an hour figuring out where I left off. I already know the next move. And I think that's part of bootstrapping too. You don't just manage the startup, you manage the gaps between the times you get to work on it. Yesterday, the database migration was about 48% complete. Today, still 48%. Nothing went backward. And when I get back to it, I'll know exactly where to start. Some days you build the startup. Some days you do the work that makes building the startup possible. And some days you pull a tooth. Today was all three. Well, except for the building part. Tomorrow we keep going. Execution over motivation. See you tomorrow.